Hello and welcome to my video today. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a road trip today. I'm going to make a 95-mile trip to Garysburg, North Carolina, and I'm going to be part of the public showing of the Pivotal Helix, which is an eVTOL, which is a electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. So it should be pretty exciting. I did get to visit them at the SEMA show. They had a booth and two of their vehicles there for display, a third generation and a fourth generation model, and pretty cool stuff. So let's get started with the trip. It's been fairly cold last night, so I charged the car up to 100%. I think it got to about 326 this morning, but I had the car on preconditioning, so it warmed up by the time I am leaving for the trip. So it's about 319 miles now. It's still showing 100%, so it's probably pretty close to that. So here's my route. It is... all right, there we go. 93 miles, an hour and 23 minutes. And let's see what way they have us going. Yeah, it's pretty much the same route that Google Maps or Apple Maps would suggest. So I'm going to be doing that. And I forgot to mention in the intro that thanks to Kyle Connor and Out of Spec Motoring for hosting this event today. Last time I saw him was at the IANA unveiling last December in Apex. Let's start driving. Okay, we are getting near our destination. I'm going to be taking this exit here, Garysburg, North Carolina. We happen to be near Roanoke Rapids, which is pretty much on the border of North Carolina and Virginia, off of Interstate 95. We have a large solar farm to our right here. Technology Drive. Happen to be following a Ford F-150 Lightning. So I think they are going to the same place we are. During the summer, I watched a video from Kyle Connor explaining that he was moving back from Colorado to North Carolina, and that the NCCAR facility, which we're about to enter right here, is going to be their new home for the Out of Spec Motoring, where they're going to be doing a lot of their testing. And next up, I got to sign in at the security station here. Hey, Kyle. How's it going, Kyle?
Great to see you.
Hey, so where's a good spot around here?
Yeah, I mean, if they're going to squeeze in there, which might
Probably
be
this
tough,
one?
maybe this one here.
All right.
Yeah, that'd
All right.
be awesome.
Sounds good.
All right. Floating around, which is so cool. I can't find her inside, Kyle. No problem. Hey, Scott, can you just film around? To the series production model that's coming in just a few months, called the Pivotal Helix, and this is actually a customer unit. So he bought this. Yeah, and he gave early access
All right. Well, good morning, Kyle. You want to tell us what's going on today?
Yeah, good morning. We are doing a little bit of a open-ended viewer meetup. We don't know what to expect. We floated the idea very loosely to say, hey, with this 3-hour window, come by our new office that we just moved to here in North Carolina. And we've got a really cool pivotal flying craft that's called an eVTOL, electric vertical takeoff and landing craft. And we said, well, maybe some people would want to come check it out. So we just floated the idea on a random Wednesday to try and keep the, amount of people coming small, just so we can figure out how to host events like this. And already it's just starting. We have some amazing cars in the parking lot, some cool people that are here, and it's still ahead of the start time. The Pivotal's flown overhead just briefly, and should be a great day. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, I was at SEMA last week,
Oh,
and
cool.
I got to see their booth. They had both the 3rd and 4th gen.
Right, so the
right there.
Blackfly and the Helix, which is the 4th gen unit.
Mhm.
Yep.
And super cool, and got to see it up close, and right there we had the CEO and all the other executives there.
Oh, amazing.
I missed the presentation.
Okay,
They
yeah.
gave a presentation like 2:30 on Thursday, and I don't know if you've been to SEMA with how crazy it is trying to get stuff
Yeah,
from
I was
one
there
place.
last year or the year before, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so huge, and it takes like a half hour to get from one side to the other, and so I missed that, unfortunately. But I heard this coming, and I was like, wow, what a coincidence to get in North Carolina, since I'm in Raleigh. It's a little bit of a drive, but
It's okay. I do the drive almost every day. So, it's not too bad. It's like an hour and a half up, and then you got to come and see it, which is awesome.
And I've been following your, I guess during the summer, you had a tour of the facility at NCCAR I guess you're going to be doing all your out of spec motoring here and testing and
It's our new
reviews, HQ. So yeah, so I've been following that. Pretty awesome.
Amazing. Well, so happy that you came up. And throughout the video today, your viewers will get to see some of the facility, which will be cool. And then also down at the track, because we have a road course here, which is great. We're going to go down there, shuttle everyone down, and we'll have the opportunity for everyone to see the actual takeoff and landing of the Pivotal, and people can sit in it and play around with it, and it should be fun. I really don't know what to expect.
Awesome. And I think it was almost a year ago when we had the IANA opening in Apex that we all met, and that was a huge EV influencer event that was kind of also, I think, your first get-together for out-of-spec motoring.
I think it was our first ever out-of-spec viewer meetup, and this is now the second. But this one, we really floated the idea minimally out there. A couple social posts, and that's about it. And we really wanted to keep this one small. So we don't know how many people will come on a random Wednesday afternoon. A lot of people have to work. But if you can get out of work, this is a cool place to come and hang out.
Well, thanks so much for hosting us, and we're excited to see what it looks like.
Yeah, we're happy you came. Should be a great day.
All right, thanks a lot.
We'll wait for him to get ready. You good, Timon? Yeah. All right. Well, thank you all for coming. This was like a super last minute, sort of under the radar thing that we put together. We honestly expected probably 5 or 10 people to come. Sam, who you'll see around, is our track operations manager here. He's great. Kayla's with him as well. And so any questions, just anyone with an NCCAR shirt, feel free to ask while you're around today. We had no idea this many people would come. So really big thank you to all of you for taking time out of your day to come see us. And most importantly, the Pivotal flying craft. From my perspective, my dad actually met Heather recently at Electrify Expo on Long Island. And they got to talking, and my dad was like, hey, we just moved to this cool proving grounds. Y'all should bring the Pivotal craft down. And you guys did. It was so cool. So Tim towed it down here behind his Cybertruck. You'll see that out on track, which is really awesome. And then we were like, let's have some people come check it out. And honestly, we wanted to keep it small. And it's a great size now, but hopefully a lot more people don't show up. So thank you all for coming. It's still so manageable, and all of you are, of course, cool viewers. So it's cool to meet all of you. From my perspective, we'll be around filming as well. So if anyone wants to be featured on the channel, just find myself, Timon, or Scott, and feel free to plug whatever it is. Oh, this thing going. So this is Heather. Heather is an eVTOL owner, which is really cool. I didn't know much about electric vertical takeoff and landing craft until they came here, so I'm learning along with you. And so Heather, I'll let you explain how it works and what we'll see today. But again, huge thank you to everyone for coming out to see us in our new spot. we'll do a lot more events here. So get used to making the commute over to NCCAR. So thank you guys.
Absolutely. Thanks, guys. All right. Well, who has a question about a flying car? Anyone?
Yeah, where is my flying car?
How many people have a flying car? Ooh, I do. Well, it's yeah. Okay, that one's working.
I'm a big
Cool.
fan of the Jetsons. Where's my
Are you guys remember the Jetsons, right? Okay. All right. So I'm Heather Shurtia. I am the nation's first female flying car pilot. Joining us shortly is Tim Lum, who's the nation's first flying car pilot. Anybody in this room can be the first something flying car pilot if you get one. But how much does this cost? This is what's called an eVTOL ultralight aircraft, and it's produced by a company called Pivotal. That's my father. So this is actually perfect timing. The inventor of this particular type of aircraft, called an eVTOL ultralight aircraft, his name is Marcus Lang, and he's the inventor of memory foam. So this thing is made of foam and carbon fiber. It's like foam core. How much do you think it weighs? 348 pounds. Yeah, 348. Each wing is 100 pounds. The fuselage is about 150, give or take, okay? And then you have me. You have 200 pounds of payload. I got to put on some weight soon, so. But yeah, it takes off vertically, goes straight up in the air, flies to where it needs to go, and then comes straight back down again, just like the Jetsons. Remember the Jetsons? So this is literally the first flying car. What is a flying car? What makes this a flying car? What's one of the most important things that makes it a flying car? You don't need what? Yes, you don't have to be a pilot. Am I a pilot? Yeah, but never mind. You don't need a pilot's license to fly this. What else? How fast does it go? 63, yeah, somebody's been doing their homework. There is a regulation. There's regulations on the ultralight aircraft classification that say how fast it can go, how much it can weigh. So it's about 250 with the classification, 250 pounds. But because it has a ballistic parachute, in case of emergency, I can pull the red, do not touch this handle, right? And out will come a parachute, and I'll float down to the ground just like a Christmas present, right? That gives me a little extra weight. It's a 1-for-1, so that lets me take the weight up. It also has floats. Each one of the little feet that it lands on is a float. I can land this on the water if I need to. It's only certified and tested in case of emergency to land on the water, but I could, if I needed to, take off and land from the water. The hull of it kind of looks like a keel of a boat, doesn't it? Yeah. It's called a tilt aircraft, okay? So if you see one of these super expensive government vertical takeoff and landing aircraft that goes up into the sky, you'll see the propellers rotating and sending it forwards. In this case, the entire aircraft rotates, okay? So look at my propellers right now. Right now, it's tilted backwards, and my propellers are actually producing lift, okay? So they're churning the air, it's creating lift, and I'm going straight up and straight down, okay? And then the whole aircraft is gonna tilt forwards. Now what are my propellers producing? Thrust, yeah. So first they produce lift, and the same propellers which have not rotated 1 degree then produce thrust, okay? As it produces thrust, what happens to my wings? They provide lift, right? So the original lift that was provided by those propellers is now replaced by lift by the wings. Now, I'm a biplane flying around the sky, right? How much energy does it take to fly when my wings are supporting the whole weight of the aircraft? Very little aircraft, very little power. When I'm taking off and all the weight of the machine is suspended by those propellers, takes a lot of power, 4 times the power to take off. 8 kilowatts per motor, taking off, 2 kilowatts per motor to fly. Okay, so it's 1/4.
Are all the motors the same power rating?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
And actually, when I land, because it's a little heavier in the back, the power distribution has to be reset so that each one of the batteries has the exact same amount of power so that it can take off. So when I land, I normalize for 10 minutes. It's called pod battery reset. That's what we call it. It actually will redistribute the power. It looks at each one of the batteries, and then it says, make them all the same so that when we take off, we're good to go. So there's 8 motors, okay? There's 4 propellers on each wing. There are 16 batteries, okay? So each wing, there's 2 little batteries for each motor. So there's 16 batteries in the wings. How many moving parts? You got 8 motors, right?
8 propellers.
8 propellers, 8 motors,
Gotta
yeah.
have some flaps or something, right?
Yeah, flaps. See these right here, little elevons? They're right back here. You can't see them very well in this image, but there's 2 little flappies that go up and down.
Is it per wing? So there are 4?
Yeah, well, if you call this a wing, there's 2 here, and there's 2 here, okay? And they can move together. They can move separately, right? What else could be a control surface on this particular aircraft? So you have the propeller spinning. The joystick, yes. Okay, we're done. That's all that moves on the entire aircraft. 2 joysticks, 8 elevons, and 8 propellers. That's it. No other moving parts. Very simple. And because it's very simple, very inexpensive, right? Inexpensive, $190,000, maybe not inexpensive for an average person to buy one, but in the realm of aircraft, military, EMS, search and rescue, all of those things, this is very, very inexpensive when compared to a helicopter. Imagine loss of life that you risk with a helicopter, a giant helicopter crew going to pick up gear and come off a military site. It could be very high. With this, you could have it be unmanned, you could have it be manned. It's 1 person, 1 pilot. Loss of life is much lower. So anyway, all of those things lead it to be a fairly inexpensive aircraft from a military perspective or from a search and rescue perspective. Okay, what questions do we have? Yeah?
I know there's a lot of fault tolerance built into it.
Yes.
How many motors need to be working to keep it flying?
Ooh, great question. How many? What happens if this front left motor goes down?
Other side goes out too.
The other side goes down, but diagonal. So good instinct. The diagonal motor will be automatically shut down. It has 8 propellers, 8 motors. It only needs 6 to fly. Okay? It has 2 joysticks. How many do I need to fly? 1, just 1. What other safety things? It has 3 internal computer controller brains. How many do I need to fly? 1, that's it, right? It has 1 parachute. How many do I need to fly? None. That was a trick question.
So the one brain's in control and the others are just standby, or do they have to be like 2 of them the same?
Yeah, no, I can put my hand behind my back and fly, okay? If this joystick fails in mid-flight, I can do this. And then I just hit the trigger, boom, the other joystick is activated. It's just as simple as that, it's just a trigger. So flying this is like flying a 2-gear car, right? Back to the old stick shift days. How many people in here know how to fly a stick shift? You all do. Well, do you know what they call a stick shift? It's a millennial anti-theft device. I drive a stick shift because I know nobody can steal my car. I leave the keys right in the ignition. Anyway, this is a 2-gear car, okay? Essentially, you have first gear, which is hover mode. I pitch backwards, I take off straight into the air, that's first gear, right? Then I My angle of attack is just 85 degrees. Why is it 85 and not 90 to go straight up in the air?
You want to lean over a little bit?
Yeah, why?
You wanna
Transition.
try to
We're
get momentum.
transitioning to
You wanna
what?
get momentum. Yeah.
Yeah, we're transitioning to forward height, to forward thrust, sorry. So you go straight up in the air, and because it's at 85 degrees, it starts to pick up some speed, right? And as it does, I joystick forward, my nose comes down, boom, I've got lift. Now I barely need any power to fly. So
Are you really controlling the power level, or is the position of the stick? Is how much is the computer making those decisions about how much thrust and stuff like
yeah,
that?
that's a really good question. The computer tells the aircraft how to do it. I tell the aircraft where to go. So I can go forwards,
Yeah.
backwards, -7, okay, up to, in first gear, about 30, 31, okay. Then I shift to second gear. Now I can go 32 to 62-ish, right? That's second gear. Now I'm just flying. Bank left, bank right, forwards, faster, backwards, slower. So in hover mode, first gear, forwards, backwards. I can literally go backwards. So, but in second gear, cruise mode, we call it cruise mode, then it's, basic flying, left, right, faster, slower. Thumb rocker, up, down, boop, boop, left, right, spiral, twist, this way. I can twist it, but twist only works in first gear. So when it's suspended here, I can twist my joystick to make it go like this, to make it do a sort of a spiral dance. And we'll do a takeoff with a spiral dance up into the skies. Yeah? No barrel rolls. That computer controller keeps you in the flight envelope. You can't defy it. It knows. It will control the propeller speed to stop the thrust.
So it's got a lot of gyro. It's got some kind of gyros that help you out there, so that it's using for input to keep the horizons and those all the angles.
Yeah, it's calculating all kinds of things. There are 4 radar units on the wings. They shoot down to the earth, right? So I have those 4 triangulating. I have 3 GPS in the back, which are triangulating my location, right? I have, these are called pitot tubes. Those will calculate my airspeed. So it tells me how fast or slow based on the RAM air. It's called RAM air. What's your question?
You mentioned earlier that there's potential for unmanned use of this. And it
Yes.
sounds like the computer is already doing a lot except where to go. Is there a time horizon on programming a basic route and having it do like a 200 yards point to point, or is that just a potential future?
It's out there in the future, and it's being tested by the government, so they are doing all kinds of stuff with unmanned for military purposes. So it's coming. The timeline is somewhere between now and 10 years from now. It's in the hands of the manufacturers and where their progression is, and it's also in certain military contracts are with different manufacturers are testing it's called UAV, unmanned aerial vehicle. So it's all coming. That is one of the major hurdles we have to get by until everyone in this room can get their own flying car. We have to have what I call magnetic repulsion, which means when you put the magnets backwards, they go, oop, they can't touch. They never touch, right? They can only get close. We need that with GPS. There's something called ADS-B, where you can see where all the other aircraft are. And then we need GPS to be able to repel them away from each other. We also need to ring fence the trees, which grow, right? I could fly this into a tree right now, but I'm not going to, right? But when 100 people are out there, we don't want anyone to even have a vulnerability to get close to the trees. So we have to have a GPS ring fence around trees, around buildings, all of those things. So that's going to come. Roadways in the sky. Right now we have roadways on the ground. Roadways in the sky will form and unform, okay? So if I go up and over Route 95, right? And there's a traffic jam in the sky. I've got 3, 4, 5 flying cars in the sky. I'll just make another road and go right above it, 500 feet above. So roads will form and unform. Autopilot will happen. Take me to the grocery store. Boom. Type in grocery store. Boom. Right? Charging networks have to mature. All of these things are going to have to happen. Tesla already has charging networks on the ground, but we don't have the real estate to land. So we need the real estate to land. We need the charging network. We need, right now, my charging network is a Tesla Cybertruck, right? Or an Anchor Solix generator. All right, questions? Yeah?
Do you have any idea of Pivotal sort of strategy for customers? You're talking about military operators, initially it's going to be enthusiasts.
Yeah.
Because to me, a flying car is, I can, what you said, get in it, go to target, come back again. You
Yeah.
can't do that with this. This is a drone with a person in it.
Well, you can if you have permission from Target's parking lot.
Well, yeah. And also, it should have wheels to go on it.
Yeah, there's wind. It has to be a sunny day.
But it's not a flying car.
Right.
By definition.
This is the first one, right? Okay.
I fully understand.
It will come.
Way at the head of the curve here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to get at you. But I just said, what do we need to get there? Is that a regulatory thing as well?
Well,
He's talking about the permission to land it. But targets are not in G space. We can't. When I live in DC, there's no way I'm flying.
yeah,
this
you
over
can't.
DC.
Yeah, you can't fly this in populated areas right now. So there is work being done. There's a company called Joby and another company called Archer who are working on unmanned flying taxis, which is a whole different thing. So they will be pushing those regulatory boundaries.
You see in Dubai and others already.
Well, it just depends on the manufacturer. So it's like apples to oranges, quite honestly. You have Pivotal, who shipped 5 units in their pre-market version, right? They shipped it to 5 people. I'm horrendously lucky to have been one of those 5, right? I feel honored. Then you have Jetson, who just shipped their first unit to America a month ago, right? So that just shipped. So you have 2 manufacturers who are actually selling flying cars and shipping them. That's the key. I don't think anyone is in full form manufacturing until well into next year to be able to deliver the next round or the next batch. So
Would it benefit someone who's learning to become a pilot or at the very basics to at least learn some basics? Is there any transferable skills?
there is a certain level of transfer of skills, and I can only speak to this because I have my pilot's license and I went through pilot training.
This is a cheap way to get into that.
This is the only way most people will ever get into it, okay? Let's just be honest. A pilot's license is hard. I quit 4 times, right? It wasn't until the military got a hold of me, I joined the Civil Air Patrol, and the military pilot said, cut the crap and get back in the plane, right? And I'm like, huh. I can't do it, blah, whatever, you know? And I'm bolder and braver than most females or males or people just in general. I don't really have a lot of fear, right? So it was hard to get my pilot's license, right? Nobody in this room, I would venture to guess, maybe 1 or 2 of you could potentially make it through that process. It's expensive, it's time consuming, it's a lot of things, okay? So to get through that process is too much. And so until it can be down to a simple level, like this vehicle is the first, simplest level to be able to do that for every man. 3 days in the simulator. Okay, I can fly in the simulator. I could do Microsoft Flight Sim. I can conquer that. It used Google Earth imagery. I knew where every tree line was, every rock, every change in the grass, because I had been looking at the satellite imagery for 3 days straight on the simulator. When I got in the cockpit, it's just me. There's no unmanned controller. It's just me. I have to do it right 100% of the time, okay? So having that imagery and then getting in the cockpit was amazing because I knew where everything was because I had been flying my route. That's feasible. That's achievable. 3 days in the cockpit and then I'm flying. It's not that far-fetched. It's not that far difference from your driver's license if you think back. So it has to be accessible. And that's why this is a flying car, because it is attainable. Yeah? Flight time is 20 miles, 20 minutes for the Blackfly, which is the pre-production version. Helix is coming out shortly, 25 miles, 25 minutes, right? And it's going to go up, up, up. 10,000 foot altitude. I can go up to 10,000 feet altitude. Now, can I make it to 10,000 feet right now with the battery power that I have? No. I can go up 500 feet a minute. So what's my ceiling with a reserve? Anyone do the math? Come on, let's go.
5,000 feet.
Yes, right. 5,000 feet with 0 reserve. Now with a 20% reserve, I can only go up to 4,500. My ceiling is currently 4,500 based on battery life if I'm starting at sea level. So, yeah.
Ice engine, 103 ultralights limited to 5 gallons. Is this limited to the energy equivalent to 5 gallons of gas, or as batteries get better at the same weight, they have more battery capacity, do you get more use that way?
Okay, so you're asking a lot of interconnected questions. Part 103 is the regulation that controls the ultralight category, right? It says you can't have more than 5 gallons of fuel. How much fuel does this have? It doesn't have any. Those regulations were made back when no one could conceive of an electric car, right? They could only conceive of a gas-powered car, so they said the limit's 5 gallons, right? So now we have a battery-powered vehicle. I could go as long as, I could go 2 hours if I could cram that amount of energy into those little tiny batteries and not exceed the weight restriction, which is what?
350.
Yeah, right at 350 if I have floats, right? So 350 pounds, that's 100 pounds per wing. I've got 8 motors. I've got 16 batteries. I have 8 batteries in this wing. You know how much just a D-cell weighs? Honestly, the batteries, the longevity of the battery is restricted by the weight limit. Because I can't exceed 348 pounds, and that's the entire aircraft, my batteries can't be any heavier. I can only have a 100-pound wing, right? So until the battery power takes the next jump, or the restriction changes, or whatever, I'm going to just have this slow creep, this slow incremental creep as the battery power gets better and better. So great question.
This regulation is that's pretty much what's going to restrict everything. In other words, you don't see this regulation changing up to 500 pounds.
I do see it changing, but I don't see it changing yet. So the FAA is going to have to change it as more and more ultralights start coming up. And I think backwards, let's work from the market to the regulation as opposed from the regulation to the market. Right now it's regulation to market. We have 62 miles an hour, 348 pounds. We have these regulations. We have to jam the car into that. But what's going to happen is there's going to be this public outcry where there's going to be more and more population that has an ultralight vehicle. There's going to be a pressure exerted to raise that weight restriction so we can get a longer range. We want to have 2-seater, not 1-seater. So all of those things will change. Yes?
Do you have any airspace limitations on that? Like could Charlotte's Class Bravo airspace, could you fly that in Class Bravo?
Exactly. Great question. Okay, we are in what's called Class Golf, uncontrolled airspace, Class G. That means as long as I can not go over a city or a populated area, it's unpopulated, I can fly. Okay, so 95% of the land in America is Class G, unpopulated, not enough population to create a risk. And so we're okay to fly. That 5% is what's called BCD, Bravo, Charlie, Delta airspace. So I can't fly into that airspace without permission. Now, can I get permission? Sure. I call the tower. I say, I've got a flying car. I'm going to be coming into your airspace. Can I have a special transition clearance to transit your airspace? And they will either say yes or no. And then I can fly into their airspace. But it's a case-by-case basis. It's every time I get in the flying car and go, I have to call the tower. I have to get a special permission to be able to go into this very controlled airspace around these populated areas. So, we have radios. We do. We also have ADS-B, which means I can see other aircraft in the local area. But that depends on if I'm going to go into the Class Delta or Class Bravo airspace. I don't need to have ADS-B, which is, other aircraft, sight to other aircraft, unless I'm going to go into the controlled airspace. But I might want to have it, right? So that's a safety call for me to make.
you turn off your ADS-B in this, is to fly this?
It's not turn off or turn on. It's do you have it or do you don't have it. And it depends on the pilot because it's not required by the ultralight, the Part 103 ultralight restrictions. Some pilots have it and some pilots don't. The pilots who have it, I'm calling them pilots, the flying car pilots who have it, tend to be operating in or near a Class Delta airspace. So a controlled airspace. Yeah?
Yes, I see that the main body is pretty flat. I assume this is to minimize lateral drift, and you have symmetric vertical surfaces in the back for capture and stability and bending off. But the center of mass and the center of lift or center of drag would be pretty close together. Is there any risk of instability at higher speeds?
Well, it's not instability at higher speeds. You obviously have some understanding of aeronautics, which is interesting. The center of gravity is actually right behind the pilot, so it's a little bit rearward. The vehicle is not unstable. I go up in the air, right? And if I get a gust of wind that pushes me either higher or lower, what do you think happens to my propellers? What do they do? If it pushes me higher, what's my propeller speed going to do? It's going to drop down. It's going to decrease. So I'm going to fall down a little bit in the sky. And that was actually interesting. That was the only moment when I first started flying where I felt, oh my goodness, what is happening, right? I went up in the air. I got a huge shear, a huge gust of wind, and boom, my propellers slowed down. There's something called chromostasis, which is the ability for your eye to determine a fast-moving object, right? And when those propellers are going really fast, you can't see the propellers. They're invisible, right? When they start to slow down, you can suddenly see them. And I was like, oh, my propellers stopped in midair, right? And then the whole thing came down. So the computer is actually keeping you stable. It keeps you inside the flight envelope. It ensures that you do not do something like try to make a barrel roll. So
Well, I'm mostly curious as to whether there would be any pitch instability if the center of lift is part of the center of mass.
I'm not experiencing pitch instability. I mean,
Only at higher speeds,
no, not at no. Yeah, it isn't happening in practical, in my practical experience. So I'd say no. Yeah.
So
Payload capacity is currently 220 in the Helix. So pretty much almost everybody in the room could fly. Yeah?
One question, I know with drones, there's like a recommended, so like you have windy conditions, there's like a recommended limit, so the wind is above a certain speed.
Yeah.
They don't want you to fly it. Does this have any limitations? So
yes. What's our thresholds? When is it a go, no-go decision? Okay. 2 days ago, we had 34-mile-an-hour winds. You think that was a no-go? Depends on where you were, if you were sheltered from it or not. On the ground, 18 knots, about 15 miles an hour wind. You don't want to be above that. If it's a stable wind, super easy. If the plane barely feels it, you go right up into it. And if it's coming stable at you, you point your nose into the wind, wherever the wind is, and it goes straight up, no problem. In the air, it can be as fast as it is. You just have to make sure you don't get blown too far downwind that you can't get back. So, yeah, the takeoff matters in terms of wind, takeoff and landing. And you don't want gusty. Like if you're 15, you're at the threshold, and it's gusting like up to 35 or something. Absolutely would not fly. We also have temperature thresholds because of the batteries. Our temperature thresholds are 24 degrees Fahrenheit to 93 degrees Fahrenheit. When it gets too hot, the controllers heat up too much. When it gets too cold, the batteries are too cold. So, yeah?
So I have two quick questions. So do you fly for the takeoff, or is there like a drone normally has like a button you can say take off and it takes off and hovers at a certain altitude?
Yeah.
And then the second question is, when you're landing, does the computer control you flying through the dirty air that it's creating under you? It loses the lift?
That's a really good question. The takeoff and landing. All right, so I'm going to tell you what I do in takeoff. So I sit, right, and I have all my controls, all my clearances. There's no more error messages on the screen, and I see hover on the screen. I hit the thumb up, which means go up. If I'm doing a hover takeoff, I just go up. It goes straight up. I get to 40 feet. I push my joystick forward, and I start traveling forward. That's the extent of my control on takeoff. On landing, I navigate to my landing site. I get over my landing site and I come down. When I come down, I'm in hover mode, right? I get all the way down, 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 make sure I'm over my landing spot. I get down to 20 feet, and on the screen comes landing available. And then I, boom, hit the trigger with the rocker down, and I throw my hands in the air. And you'll see this when we land, hands in the air, boom, the machine does the rest. So it's computer assisted, but I have to get it there. I have to get it over that landing pad. Yeah. Yeah.
If you lose control of your propellers, motors, say at 1,000 feet,
yeah,
and you have no control, can you glide it, or do you have to, or is there a certain height that you need for the parachute?
I have a ballistic parachute for that instance. Yeah, over 150, it should work. It's certified over, I think it's 206, but it's, you know, it's tested. It does deploy and work at a lower altitude down to, they say, 150-ish in practical experience.
So does that control how high you prefer to fly? You want to get up?
It doesn't enter into my thought at all. I mean, you think it would, but once you start flying, this thing doesn't feel dangerous. It looks scary, right? It looks dangerous, but Tim always says it's about as dangerous as a motorcycle, a little less. He says it's less dangerous than a motorcycle and a little more dangerous than a car. So it's somewhere between car and motorcycle in that range in there. So, but it just works. If your ground tests, if it passed all the ground tests, if you pass your Elevon check, if you pass your motor checks, all of those things on the ground, it's going to fly. So, and we don't think about it after that. We don't think about deploying the parachute, you know, unless there's some sort of an emergency situation.
I got one last question.
Yeah?
You mentioned that there's 8 batteries.
Yeah.
How's it charged? Does it have like a common, you know, charging? Like...
I can charge all kinds of ways. I can drive my chase vehicle up with some Honda generators in the back, flip on my generators, plug it in, and recharge in a field. Okay, so any dryer jack generator can recharge this thing in 40 minutes. So super fast. I can drive my Cybertruck up, right? I drive the Cybertruck up. There's something called a V2L jack in the back, which is a 240 volt, I'm going to say 30 amp minimum. I know it's higher than that, but 30 amp jack, as long as it's 30 amp. I just plug it in like I plug my dryer in, boom. I have these quad charger boxes which convert, and then I plug it into what's called an Anderson jack under the wings, and there's 2 of those. I also have Anchor Solix battery powered boxes. You know, have you guys discovered Anchor Solix yet? They're amazing. Yeah, little generator boxes that are battery powered. You can even get solar for those. So you can recharge. It's essentially like flying car, chase car, right? So the flying car lands, the chase car comes up, and I recharge, right? So the chase car has generators. Walter, did you have a question?
Yeah, 2 quick questions. First one, do you have a sense, like, if you took all the electric motors and batteries out and put in ice with fuel, if the weight would increase or decrease?
If what?
So the overall weight of the aircraft, if you took all the electric motors and batteries out and replaced them with internal combustion engine engines,
yeah,
with the fuel, would the overall weight increase or decrease?
Oh gosh, I will defer you to the manufacturer for that one. I have no idea.
I think it would be pretty close at least.
It might be. I don't know. Combustion engines are heavy.
So,
heavy.
There's some kind of benefit for the electric engines that they chose to go that route instead of the internal combustion.
They're so light. I don't think they could do this with a combustion engine. Honestly, they're just too heavy. They're just too heavy. We're only working with 348 pounds, and that includes the body. That includes everything, right? So.
Second question, has anyone ever used it for DoorDash?
For DoorDash. It might be my next job, right? Okay, somebody in the back had a question? Or did you have a question? No. Yeah?
So, does Pivotal have on the roadmap for it to eventually have water landings? I know in case of emergency you can, but Like, we're
I-
constantly gassed in here, so.
Pivotal doesn't share their exact roadmap with the pilots, and so I would have to be a staff to answer that. But I mean, it has amphibious floats on it, and it is a keel. I mean, I can't imagine that they aren't going to eventually certify it downstream. Right now, there's just a handful of users, and when there's more, I'm sure it will become a thing. Yeah.
I thought this when I watched the video. So are the floats because they got a little bonus weight advantage if you put floats on it?
Yeah.
You can get 50 pounds for floats.
Sure.
Even though it only took 12 pounds for floats, and you wanted that other.
Yeah,
38
as a
pounds.
manufacturer of a flying car, Pivotal is going to fight for every pound they can get. Why? Because they want those batteries to be a little bit bigger, right? So we can get more range. So they're going to fight for every advantage they can. So putting floats on it is great, but it doesn't need wheels. Look, it's like a little guppy.
But
You know, it just
because of the weight, they wanted that weight, or was it because of they're worried about being able to land on water or something?
It's a wonderful safety feature. I can fly over any body of water and not have to even have a life preserver in the thing. Swim it to shore. I mean, honestly, the whole thing just floats and it's great. Yeah?
So it's supposed to be widely applicable, and therefore it's going to be used about ergonomics and simplification. But still, an aircraft, how populated is the instrument panel? I mean, do you have a nav ball and HUD, or?
Oh, the instrument panel. That's interesting. What does the instrument panel look like? It looks like Google Maps, right? So you know you have Google Maps in your car, but if you have a Tesla, you have a couple of buttons down the left. That's kind of how this is. So I have my map, and I can see my breadcrumb pin. You know, I can see where I am. I can see wind direction. And then I have the things I care about. What do I care about? I care about how hot my batteries are, right? So I have battery temperature. I have to manage that. I care about how much power I have left till I get down to 0%, right? I care about that. I care about my airspeed. I want to know how fast or slow I'm going. And I also care about how high I am above the ground, above my takeoff point, so AGL. So that's about it. And whether I'm in cruise or hover. Very simple.
So there's no nav ball, but is there like any plan for a HUD? I think that might be an interesting.
Plan for what?
For a HUD.
Heads-up display
versus a screen, so it's on the screen in front of you.
Oh, I have no idea. That's on the roadmap for Pivotal. They'll be able to answer that in the future. But for now, we have a great canopy and incredible view out the window. So, yeah.
I used to fly drones commercially, and there was Q ground control and mission planner, and probably not something you know about. But just curious, do you know what Pivotal used? Do they do a bespoke, totally custom set of software for this thing, or do they?
Yeah, the software is all custom. Yeah. And the simulator, it's really interesting. The simulator runs the same software as the actual vehicle. And so when you fly on the simulator, you're flying the actual vehicle software. So, yeah, it's fascinating. It's a fascinating transition. Okay, last question, then we're going to go fly.
Quick question. In case of a catastrophic event, can you survive if you fall from the sky at 150 feet?
Okay, I want you to think about the weight of this thing. It's very light, right? If a feather falls from the sky and it lands on the ground, right, it's not going very fast. It's not going to do very much damage. If a rock falls from the sky and lands on the ground, it's going to crash through whatever it hits, right? This is more like the feather, okay? It's more like the feather. It has wings. It has resistance. It's going to fall. And it's not going to be going very fast because it's made of carbon fiber and foam, right? And the heaviest thing in the aircraft is probably me. So, and we're only a little bit off the ground. So, am I nervous? No. I have a parachute. It's very light. The weight to thrust ratio is going to be such that I'm not worried, so, yeah. Okay, you guys want to go fly? All right, thank you.
After the presentation, we all got in some vehicles and went down to the track. It was a little too far to walk, and it was nice to ride in their Rivian R1S.
Oh, you want to get it? Sure thing.
Thank you.
I know, right?
Your door is not closed. My door is gotta pull hard.
Whoa. Heavier than the Model 3.
There you go.
There's still one open.
I think mine is.
Yeah, one more.
There we go. Sorry.
Solidly made.
And then just keep an eye out for anybody who might be on a one wheel.
The John Deere, you know.
See, you didn't think you'd go on the track, right?
Okay, so just mad at.
Oh, you wanna go?
Yeah, yeah.
Woo! No speed limits.
All right, you're good.
Yeah.
Just kiss the apex here. Isn't it so fun?
What weight is
I
this?
saw 70 almost, yeah.
And then slow down here because we're gonna drop everyone off.
Okay, and then you're gonna go back and
I'm gonna go back and pick up some more people.
So would you fly?
My full name. Get in it, and I said, all right.
Here's the Anchor Solex chargers, basically battery bank for charging the vehicle. And then everything fits inside this trailer. The front and rear wings come off and they get stored inside. All right, so here's their charging setup here. And that's what it looks like. It's a proprietary connector to their battery pack. And it appears that there's at least 2 of them that are connected to the vehicle. Do you mind if I take some video of you?
Of course.
All right. So how many flights have you done on this one?
This aircraft has just short of 1,200 flights. I have a little over 1,200 flights in Blackfly.
Wow.
Yeah.
So does it, as far as like your experience, were you a pilot before?
No, I was a Forest Service smoke jumper for
Really?
26 years. Yeah.
Wow. Because you would think that, people who would first be into this would be like pilots that want something just kind of a person.
Airplanes.
I guess, but it's kind of like another thing, you know what I mean, to have. But for people, I think I read that it takes like, what, 3 days of,
It
is
depends
it
on the
training?
person. It's 2 days to 2 weeks.
Uh-huh. And what kind of, what's involved with the training?
Simulator time, flight time.
Uh-huh. Gotcha. So the basics of what to do, emergency stuff if you need to, something happens. You have to have just all the different scenarios, I'm sure.
You should come to Palo Alto and find out.
Yeah, I know.
Mhm.
I was at Las Vegas. I'll make another trip to California. Thanks so much.
Yeah, you're welcome. Oh, right on. Oh, cool. It's hard not to.
So like once it's in touch marking, like how does that, like if there's like drones in the air nearby?
That's something you need to mitigate. Like if for this person, I don't know this person.
All the carbon fiber that you see on the props and the vehicle itself is real and part of the lightness and structural rigidity. So these pontoons are hollow, or probably filled with foam for rigidity. This is where the parachute is located.
And let's say if it hits that, takes that more route. And as far as like bird strikes and all that, have you had like a bird strike? Not a situation. Yeah, they come up to
Must be elevation.
So basically, for one of your cars, you could have two of these, and then we could do like our own little.
All right, just zoom in real
Yeah,
here.
yeah, sorry.
So he said this was an Android tablet.
Okay.
It's basically the instrument paddle. And they have, what else do we have in here? We have headset. Here are the two joysticks or flight sticks. What else we got in here? Got some foot controls where your feet go inside.
Yeah, that would be an interesting idea. I mean, you could actually save some weight. Take a section out.
And then seat belt.
I could see that.
And you can see that the top here just swivels in place.
this one 3 increments different on this one. You reduce the noise. Yeah, but you know they have 8,000 flights, over 8,000 flights.
You all carry spare?
I have 4 spare props in the trailer. 1,200 flights, I've replaced 3 props.
I'll be like Superman holding on to the rear wing.
Yeah.
Do they spin synchronously, or are they
these
off?
are A props or B props, so these will always spin this way. Does that make sense?
So clockwise,
Okay, so they're
counterclockwise.
They're never this close. They'd be offset.
No, they're always that close. Every rotation.
Oh wow!
Oh, so
Okay.
they meet up in the middle.
Opposite rotation though on the other side to
The other side is opposite
maintain
rotation.
your
Okay.
rotational inertia.
Yeah.
Man. Yep.
All right, David King.
Hi, David. I'm Tim.
Nice to meet you, Tim.
Feet away. Once I get to the portion that I close the canopy, you need to get behind those quad chargers, but in front of the truck. Does that make sense? I'm going to take off, give you a standard air show demo where I spiral, do all these fancy looking stuff. And then I'm going to line up going down the track, and I'm going to do 1 lap for Kyle.
Great.
From takeoff to landing will be about 8 minutes. Yeah. So, I'm in radio contact with Heather and Kyle. Fox is going to have a drone up. I'm in contact with their visual observer, and this will be fun. After I land, we're going to put it on the charger, and anyone who wants to can get inside the airplane. Yeah. Are there any questions? Okay. I need
Let's go.
people. What's that? No, I'm not allowed to take off if it's over 18 knots. And what I'm getting right here is 4.8 knots. Yeah. Up above the trees, it's more wind, but I'm not landing up there. Yeah.
We hope.
Yep.
We'll get a ladder just in case.
Okay, if there's no more questions, 3 feet back from the aircraft, I'm going to do a walk around, and we're 2 minutes from takeoff. Tree line's right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I'm gonna get wet.
Yeah, I just have a threshold that I won't be by Celsius, and so you just buy. Oh, cool. All right. You can put it in here. Oh, cool. Right on. Yeah. We're gonna put this on the charger, and then while it's charging, everyone can climb on in.
Excuse me. All right,
Just go ahead and climb. Use both hands.
Okay.
Put your phone here. Use both hands.
Like this?
Put both feet on the seat.
Like that? So he took the canopy off. Simple. And here's a view. Your feet. Got your 2 joysticks here. All right.
You want a picture of yourself in there?
I got that one, but could you?
Oh, yeah. All right, ready. There we go. I think I got
Thank
it.
you. Hold on, and I'll.
Oh, yeah.
Gotta climb out. This is like a.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to do that. I don't have any flexibility.
Take your time.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thanks,
Well,
Tom.
maybe I could.
Right up there.
I finally found it.
I'm used to seeing you in a 4-wheel.
That's right. I don't film with this enough. But I use this every time I'm here. It's amazing. It's a little, it's got a reverse actually. Check that out.
Is it street legal?
Oh yeah. Yeah. It's highway legal.
It's highway, okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's a little sketchy on the highway, but I ride it.
Nice.
How much range does that?
We got to do a range test on it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's showing 25 miles at 50% or so. So. 50,
Huh. Nice.
Which is fine. It's 6 kilowatt hours.
Cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was the end of the event, right? Like there's nothing after this?
Yeah. Nothing was ever planned.
Okay. Oh really?
Yeah.
Right. No, I like that though.
I just got here at the same time everyone else did. So.
Cool.
Scott.
All right, well, that's about it for the video today. We got a close-up look at the Pivotal eVTOL, which is electric vertical takeoff and landing vehicle. Some are calling a flying car. So very neat to get the demonstration today, as well as talking to the owner and asking her questions. So I thought it was a fascinating day. Thanks again to Kyle Connor and Out of Spec Motoring for hosting this event at the NCCAR Center. I hope to do some future videos here. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them down below. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
And for today's lesson, oh, does your work, I'm foiled. There will be no lesson today, school's canceled.